Hey guys, this is David the mechanic. Today I'm doing rear brake pads on a 2009 Hyundai Sonata. As always, safety first. Since we're raising the rear of the vehicle, I'm going to put the wheel chalk on the front tire so it doesn't roll forwards. All right, you definitely want to get the jack somewhere sturdy. I have the jack right here along the frame. There's a beam that runs all the way parallel to the rear of the vehicle towards the trunk. You can also use this part right here, which is on most cars, but I like to go with the sturdier part of the frame. But I can always put my jack stand there once I get it higher where I want it to be. So now that I have my jack placed where I want it, what I'm going to do is I'm going to raise it just a little bit with the tire still on the ground. I'm going to use my 4-way. I'm going to break the studs or the lug nuts just a little bit just to break them free. Then I'll raise the jack up where I really want it. Then I will use my impact, get the studs off or the lugs off, and then I can take the tire off safely. Okay, I have the lugs loosened, so I'm going to go ahead and raise the vehicle to where the tire is all the way off the ground. Then I will use my jack stand and place my jack stand where it won't fall and hurt me. Now that I have the studs free, I can go ahead and use my impact to get them off. All right, all I have to do now is just remove the tire. All right guys, this is what we're working with right here. This is your brake caliper. This is your brake caliper bracket. This is your rotor, and these are the brake pads that we'll be changing, being held underneath this brake caliper right here. To get this brake caliper off, we have to remove this bolt right here, which is a 14mm. It should swing. If it doesn't swing enough for us to get clearance, then we have to remove this one as well. I'm going to start by removing this one and see what we have. All right, so it swings out. We should be able to get this back pad off. Going to need a flathead or something to pry those brake pads off with. All right, getting ready to get these old brake pads pried out of here. All right, you want to examine the brake pads to make sure you replace them with the right ones. So I'm going to leave this one here on the outside, since this one came from the outside side of the caliper, well, the rotor. And this is the one that came from the inside, so I'll replace that right there on the inside. Now I will take the new pads and try to match them up with the old pads. So you can see that one matches up with that right there. And this one pretty much matches up with this one right here. All right, so these are the pads that we need. I can go ahead now and insert these new pads in. It's being a little tight. Might have to go ahead and remove this bottom. Okay, got that one in. Now we'll go ahead and get this one in. Okay, all right, they're in. Now we have to get this piston back in there. So you take one of your old brake pads, place it about right there, and we're going to get our C-clamp. You want to get that set. All right, now once you have that set, you go ahead and you push that caliper back on in. Okay, kind of ran out of room on the seat clamp, so I have to use extra pad. All right, now that it's all the way in, we should be able to slide it right on there. If not, then we'll have to push it in more. Let's see what we got. I'm gonna have to push it in just a little bit more. But you see the concept of what I'm doing. All right, now that I have these brake pads pushed all the way in, I'm going to slide this caliper right back on, like so. Then I'm going to get my bolt, 14mm bolt, and I'm going to thread it back in. Since this is the only bolt I had to take off for the whole job, well, at least for this side, go ahead and tighten that back down. You can use a 12 wrench if you please. You can look up the specs, type in the year, make, and model on Google, and torque specs for the rear caliper bolts, or you can just tighten it snug and put a little effort into it. That should do it. All right, now I'm ready to put the wheel back on. Then I will do the other side, and once both sides are complete, I will enter the vehicle. I will pump the brakes up. I will start the vehicle, leave it in park, pump the brakes up again, and if they feel good enough, I will take it for a test drive. And that is basically how you change the rear brake pads on a 2009 Hyundai Sonata.